So I woke up this morning and thought to myself, you know what? I need to have one last quick battle in Warhammer 2 before I retire from it and wait for Warhammer 3. So that's what I'm going to do. I brought out my favorite boys, my greenskins. I brought my big army. I was ready for action, only to find that the enemy had only brought a Lord and Heroes. So, as you can imagine, this battle wasn't the best. So I was forced to play a second last battle, because ideally I just wanted to go in, play the one battle, and put it up whatever happened in it. But unfortunately, I thought that would be a bit of a disappointment if the title was My Last Ever Quick Battle, and it was that shit of just no army. So here's another one with actual armies, greenskins, beastmen. Let's do it. I'm coming out with a numbers-heavy army to take on the beastmen, lots of infantry, lots of cavalry. Got orc boys up front, got some big uns in there, some nasty skulkers as well. Let's get up close on these, actually. We're not going to see them for a while. Until Mortal Empires comes to Warhammer 3, we're going to have no greenskins or anybody else. So, Biggins, I thank you for your service. Thanks for being so aggressive and violent and killing my enemies. And that goes for all of you green boys. Now, over on my right flank, I've got a little bit of cavalry, 2 skirmish cavs, some normal forest goblin spider riders for a bit of melee. And then over on the other flank, I've got a whole lot of orc boar boys, as I often do. Just the normal kind. They're nice and cheap. They're good in numbers. They can be very good for getting around behind these beastmen and breaking their leadership with hammer and anvil. For my lords and heroes, I've got a goblin big boss on a wolf. He's nice and quick. He's also got They Need Stabbing. We've got Wurzag. He's got Brainburster, and here we go, looking to drop those spells. And that is my army. We're barreling forward. We've got to go uphill, which isn't great for us. The enemy has Vanguard deployed, I think. He's mostly got crappy infantry up front, so nothing too dangerous there, but does have a bit of skirmish cav on one of his flanks with throwing axes. Got some raiders in there as well. Some better infantry, Blackhorn Ravagers. Also got a caster of the wilds on a chariot. Got some Razorgore chariots over on this flank, accompanied by some more skirmish cav. So lots of that, which is probably a good idea against the greenskins. His lord and hero, it's big boy Taurox with his oldest son, Gorbel. These two could be very problematic, Taurox especially. He is a bit of a tank and can do lots of damage, and I don't really have anything great to deal with him. Well, I do have some sneaky gobbos back here, actually. The good old 8-peak loonies, unbreakable goblins. Vanguard deployed these. These can be very useful. Good for harassing missiles and stuff. They're a little bit far away here as they Vanguard deployed, but they'll get there eventually and be a little surprise. So we're getting underway. The enemy's spawning up a Cygor. He's going to throw a few rocks, but he's not going to have a lot of time to do that. I'm trying to push this skirmish cav on the right back because we have the ranged advantage with our skirmish cav. We've got way more range, so I'm trying to use that here so I can shoot them and they can't shoot me, basically, just by pushing them back a bit. On my left side, I've got all my boar boys. I'm going to push them up soon. Going to get them around the flanks, trying to get harassing all of the missiles and everything. Get that hammer and anvil. Just going to barrel into the front line with all my orc boys and big uns as well. Just harassing and skirmishing on this right-hand side. The enemy playing it cautious, not rushing in. My orc boys do approach, though. Their big charge. Going to get into these Ungor spearmen. They're not going to counter-charge, so missing a little bit of a trick there, but they don't have great charge bonuses anyway, though, so not a big deal. The big uns coming up to get the Cygor. The Cygor very kindly walking into the big uns, so making it easy for me there. My cav bringing a hefty flank. Some of my orc boys have broken through as well, chasing the raiders. I'm not going to be able to catch their cavalry with my orc boys, so I'm going to try to avoid doing that. Going to bring 2 of these units to come and hit the flank of all these units on the front line so I can break these nice and quick. One of my units gets stuck on Taurox on the Gorbel, though. Didn't see those when I gave the order, but no bother. One of the units has made it through. As long as we're getting those leadership penalties on the back of the front line, we're doing good work. 8-peak loonies have arrived. My spider riders here, the melee ones, are chasing off 4 units of skirmish cav, so this is big for us. This is taking a lot of their power out of the game for a little bit. Just chasing them off, keeping away from the rest of my army while we take out the rest of his army. His Razorgore chariots came in here. I hit them with a smoke bomb, and then I'm going to effigy of the Get Them to make sure they don't go away. I've got my Lord and Hero on them, got the nasty skulkers on them, going to get rid of that chariot nice and early. Cygor's going down as well. That was a spawned up one, so the time killed it as well. Taurox is in here, though. He is a problem. Haven't got any damage on him yet. The Gorbel there as well. Broken the frontline units. They were only cheapy, crappy stuff, though. Starting to try and chase and catch some of these things. Sometimes you might get lucky and be able to catch a couple of Centaurs and then pull the whole unit back. I do have these to bring back as well. So mostly taking out his infantry, but he's still got his big, powerful Lord and Hero that I, like I said, don't really have anything great to deal with. Wurzag can't really take on Taurox. The Goblin Big Boss can't really take on Taurox. Maybe the big uns are my best hope, but they're a little bit beaten up at this point. But we got a lot left, so we should be able to survive this. We're looking good at this point, but the favor bar is still saying otherwise. Those skirmish cav are still around, of course, so it's not over yet. I've just broken the leadership of most of his crappy infantry, which wasn't a great part of his army anyway, so it's not like they're a big loss. most of the powerful stuff he still has left. So it's not over. Trying to get a hold of Taurox at this point. I really need to get some serious damage on him before it gets too late in the game and my army's too beaten down to be able to stop him. So I'm trying to put the hurt on him here. I've got the big boss in here, I think, as well as everything else I can muster. I put Here We Go on everything as well, so they're getting a nice melee attack buff, helping them do some damage, and we are getting some damage on Taurox now. You can see the Here We Go there, but his big explosion puts some of our boys wavering. The Gore Ball there as well now. So a lot of power in that area for the Beastmen, and all this cav's coming back now, and it's got a lot of ammo. So this is a little bit of a worry. I've got to try and keep this at bay, not let it fire on the backs of my boys too much, because their leadership probably won't hold up. So all to play for at this point. I'm trying to be very careful with Wurzag as well. I'm very aware that I'm near a Gore Ball and Taurox, and at any moment those two could come together on Wurzag and take him out very, very quickly. So I'm trying to be very careful with him. Charged him in to fight the Gore Ball a bit there, but Taurox doesn't seem to be going after him. A few things to bring back, but mostly we're all clumped up on the big boy here. We've managed to break the Gore Ball. Going to send the hero after him to chase him off, get my big boss on him, chase him off, try and stab him as he runs away, stop him from coming back, or better yet, just kill the bastard. Taurox, though, going after Wurzag now. I think he's realized his only hope is really to get rid of Wurzag and really hurt my leadership. If he can, he'll probably be able to rout off all my pretty low health infantry with Taurox alone. But you can still see he's got all that skirmish cav. There's still some Centaur power there. He's getting after Wurzag. I'm getting him out of there. Wurzag is a little bit faster than Taurox, but Taurox's charge is helping him keep up. There's a chariot hero there as well. I can't outrun that, so I really need to save Wurzag at this point. I'm going to bring all my boys over to try and just get a hold of this stuff so Wurzag can run through my boys and get these two off of him. We managed to stop the chariot from chasing him, but Taurox was able to get through, but we hit him with an effigy of the Git to hold him there for a second, just allowing Wurzag enough space to escape. I am trying to tell him to move at this point, and he's being a bit of a dick and isn't moving. Now he does, finally. Starting to surround Taurox again. He uses his explosion, maybe a little bit too early there. Still a lot of cav. Trying to get a hold of it as much as I can with anything that I have. Just keeping Wurzag out the way. Going to drop another Here We Go. Trying to get the melee attack up on all these boys while they try to put some damage on Taurox. He's a big angry cow, though. He's wavering some of my boys. I'm getting a bit worried that my infantry isn't going to be able to hold up here. And like I said, I'm going to have nothing left to deal with Taurox. And while Wurzag is still in pretty good shape health-wise, he's only going to be able to take a hit or two from Taurox. So he can't really stand toe-to-toe with him. Got a few things to bring back here. Going to drop a brain burster on this skirmish cav. Got them wavering. Got to try and get a hold of this stuff. I've got a decent health unit of skirmish cav there that I could use in melee, and I'm going to do that in a minute to try and catch them. Taurox goes on the run. Still got half his health. Trying to keep up with him with my skirmish cav to slow him down. Still got my big ball of boys. Just need to get a hold of all of this skirmish cav, and luckily for me, the way that some of my units have routed is kind of either side of this skirmish cav, so I can kind of close in on them, as you'll see me do slowly in a minute. Going to get a hold of the caster there, but throwing axe is coming in. Taurox throwing down with my big ball of boys over here. They need stabbing down on him. The goblin big boss is in there, reducing his armor and melee defense and trying to kill him. Going toe-to-toe with him. Big boss got about half his health. I've put Wurzag just in range as well and used Get Back here to give a leadership buff to all these boys while they fight Taurox, because Mork knows they're going to need it. Taurox, though, sneaking out of the group and getting after Wurzag. I didn't quite catch this straight away. Wurzag is going to give him a little slap. But we're going to get Wurzag out of there. Taurox is low on health at this point, so we nearly got him. The big boss is still in pursuit, trying to put some damage on him. Taurox still trying to get after Wurzag. I've managed to get a hold of the skirmish cav here. I brought some of my skirmish cav back to grab a hold of them, and I had some routed boar boys on the other side, which have come back as well, so we've managed to sandwich all this skirmish cav and finally put some damage on them. Taurox still desperately chasing Wurzag. I used another Here We Go there, but I think it went on a unit that's actually routing away, so it's kind of wasting it, unfortunately, but we got him low on health. The hero's still on him. My big boss is going to get some stabbing. He wavers, and that's going to be a GG. We got him. Greenskins victory for the last battle. Happy days. Good game to my opponent, though. It was a fun battle. It was a close one. I thought he was going to get me at some point. Taurox looking pretty tough to get rid of. Got some good damage with Wurzag and my hero. Nothing spectacular, but not too bad. Fairly spread out damage in my infantry. No real standout performers. More of a group effort. Nice big in damage there. Bit of damage from the cav as well. Good damage from that skirmish cav. Lots of work from them. So mostly a team effort for my army there. Most of the damage for the beastmen coming from the heroes and the lord, of course. Not a lot from the infantry. Couldn't get enough from the skirmish cav as well. And that's probably what cost him. Couldn't quite get enough damage. Couldn't quite rout off some of my more important stuff. And a GG. Good game to this fella. He gave us a close final battle to finish Warhammer 2 with, and that is me done with Warhammer 2 quick battles. I look forward to Warhammer 3 and getting into those quick battles and any other multiplayer stuff they've got planned. Looking forward to it. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the future.